Another adventure. G35 for the 2J. She definitely needs a paint job and some wide bodies, but the wide body kit that I'm looking at, actually you have to cut out all of this, so it should cover this all perfect. But I got this thing for 250 bucks with a clean title, so I'm not even complaining at all. Like, that's a really good deal. Clean title, G35 manual, ready. It's got an engine in it too, so stupid good deal on it. It's definitely gonna need some work, but I want to learn how to paint more anyway, so that is no big deal at all. I'm really excited for it, and the 2J's got a home. Shout out to my boy Tyler once again, coming through with the trailer, getting it done. I'll get the other one. You good? Just add another one to the fleet.
All the pins are in and shit?
Yep. I'll go check them again for you. Check the pins. All good. So you guys saw that Tyler and I picked up the G35 yesterday. Tyler went in on it with me because he's getting the BQ engine for his 350Z, and I need this chassis for my 2J, which is over there behind the engine hoist. When we were bringing the trailer back to Tyler's house yesterday and getting it back in his yard, I stepped on a nail right here, and it went almost all the way through my foot. So that's been pretty awful to deal with, but it's not gonna stop me from pulling the engine. So I got Josh here.
What's good with you?
Tyler's on his way over, and then we're going to pull the engine out. So I'm going to basically do everything I can from this chair. I can hobble around, so I can stand up and like move around, but yeah, so I'm gonna pull the whole front end off so we can just lift up the engine and pull it straight out. It doesn't have a trans on it, so that's gonna be, you know, a cakewalk, because I think all we have to do at this point is disconnect the heater core lines, the coolant lines, and then undo the mounts, and then it just should come right out. So I'm gonna get started on that, and then when Tyler gets here, or before Tyler gets here, the engine should come out. So we're gonna get to that. That's going on that side whenever he comes over after work. Don't stand in front of him.
Nope. Sorry, bro.
Check it out. So that happened. Guess I need a new one of those.
Not cool.
Not cool. She must be a temperamental impact.
It just does that when it hits the side.
You wanna know where the ants are?
In the radiator?
In the cooling system.
Did you get bit up?
No, I just pulled the plug and 1,000 of them ran out. These two came through, we pulled the engine, gimp foot, we got it done. Now to take this thing apart and get it running for Tyler. So basically, the guy who I bought this car from said when this car started, blue and white smoke chiefed out the back exhaust pipe, which if you know anything about VQs, you know that the valve seals are blue, and when they start to fail, that's exactly what happens. So with the oil getting through the valve seals into the compression cylinder and then, you know, exploding with the gas, that's why we're getting a whole bunch of smoke out the back. So we're gonna take the heads off, we're going to replace it with good heads, and then probably swap the valve seals on this eventually, because he's got a good rotating assembly in his Z, but we're like 90% sure when it jumped out of time, a valve got bent. So, you know, we're gonna work from there and see what we can get done. However, it's out of the G now, so now the G can get pushed over into the side yard and get prepped for paint and all that fun stuff. All right, engine's out. The G35 is over here. Tyler's cleaning it. Goodbye, VQ. We don't need that thing anyways. We got one right here, one right there. And the G35 is getting a 2J. So, that's just how it's gonna be. So, if you're new here, I'm just gonna explain to you what's going on here. I picked this engine up off a friend. It is the VVTi GE. I know it's not the most sought after 2J in the family. However, these things can push pretty decent power, nothing crazy. Mid 450s should be just fine on these rods without crushing them, as long as I have a good tune and a good setup. So for right now, the plan with this engine will be to just lead the bottom end stock. I was originally going to put in a GTE bottom end, but I figure with my budget, it would probably be smarter to just focus on getting what I need to get the engine in the car and the car running. And then down the road when I have more funds, you know, swapping this with a better bottom end or, you know, rotating assembly is always an option. So I'm going to work on this 2J, work on refreshing it. It does need all new gaskets, so I'm going to get that soon here. I'm going to get the No Cut Collins kit for the CD09 transmission, and then I'm going to get the GK Tech short shifter for the CD09 transmission so it can go into the G35. So that's pretty much where we're at with this right now. I've got a bunch of cars, I know, but there's plans for all of them, and all the cars have engines and are actually only missing a few parts here and there to get them ready. The G35 is actually the farthest one from running, but the MR2 and the S13 both have engines, and I just picked up a transmission for my MR2, so after I do all the body work on that, that should get thrown together pretty soon. So I'm going to end it here. I am going to hop in the car and mess with my shifter a little bit. I just spoke with GK Tech about my reverse lockout issues, and they said that I can pull the shifter out and sand down the box that sits inside of the bracket, and then that should solve all my issues. So I'm going to pop that out, see what I can do about that, and hopefully I, you know, don't continue to have these issues with reverse lockout, because basically, like, you know, if you have a G35 or you have a CD09, you know, you have all 6 gears, and then farthest to the right and back is reverse lockout. You're supposed to be able to just like push the knob down, go to reverse lockout, and then when you come out of reverse, it's supposed to pop back up, so you can't accidentally shift back into that. What's happening is, when I push down my shifter, not only is it incredibly hard to push down, but it's almost impossible to pull back up. So, kind of not trying to have that issue when I'm, driving the car out and about. So I'm going to try to get that figured out, and I'll give you guys an update next video if I did get it figured out. But the dudes at GK Tech said if it is busted, they'll just send me out a replacement, so it's not a big deal. But you guys know the deal. If you got any questions, comment them down below. Make sure you follow my Instagram, because that's where you're going to get more up-to-date updates between each video. I post a whole bunch on my story on there, so whatever I'm digging into during the day, you'll probably see more of. Hit the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't yet, and we'll see you in the next one.